Good afternoon from Singapore, and a very warm welcome to you from wherever you are joining us today. Thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with us today in today's East Campus Junior School Open Day. We will get started in just a few minutes. We're going to just allow another minute or two for all of our attendees to join us. And so please bear with us till then. In the meantime, I'm going to invite you to enjoy a short video that gives you a flavor of a day in the life of a junior school student on our East Campus. Nisha, could you play the video, please? Thank you so much. Hello and welcome again. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that video. I know we still have a few people joining us, but I think we will get started. I'm just going to go through a few details about the program and introduce you to the program and give you a few guidelines about today's event. So my name is Malika Ramdas. I'm Director of Admissions at the college. And in today's program, which is focused on our junior school at our East Campus, we will spend the first 30 to 40 minutes of the event on a presentation devoted to the learning program. And that will be led by our learning leadership team of the primary school that's responsible for grades 2 to 5. That will be our principal and vice principals. You will also have the pleasure of hearing from one of our high school students who started out as a junior school student at East Campus. The presentation will be followed by about 20 minutes of question and answer time, and that will be related to the learning program specifically. So we ask that you keep your questions focused on questions around the learning program and student experience within the junior school. Because after that, you will also have an opportunity to ask admissions-related questions for another 30 minutes or so after we have concluded the learning program presentation and question and answer. So today's session is taking place as a Zoom meeting. This means that we will have the opportunity to break into breakout rooms for the learning program question and answer period. So please save your questions for when you can join a breakout room, and we will invite you to choose which breakout room you wish to join. The breakout rooms will be organized by grade level, so there will be separate breakout rooms for grades 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do note that today's presentation will be recorded, and the recording will then be available on our website a few days later. We will also mail you the link to the recording for everyone who has registered for today's open day in case you can't stay through to the end of the program. So at this point, I'm going to just remind everyone to please turn your camera off and to keep yourself muted during the learning program presentation. Once you are in the breakout rooms for the first question and answer period, we will invite you to turn your cameras on, and you can then unmute yourself when you want to ask a question. So until then, please keep your cameras off and keep yourself muted. Thank you so much. So I'm now going to ask my colleague Christina to open a brief poll for you to just take a moment to tell us what you're most interested in hearing about today. So you can see the poll in front of you, and I invite you to respond to the poll in the next minute or two. Please go ahead. And again, if you're just joining us now, we invite you to respond to the poll that you can see on your screens. Thank you. And we'll give everyone another 30 seconds or so to get through your responses to the poll. And then we will share the results with everyone so you can get a sense of what you as the audience are interested in today.
Sorry, this is Jack here. I didn't get the poll or pop-up screens from my machines.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for letting us know that. We will try to fix that, but no worries if that's not working for you.
Maybe Malika will just end the poll because...
Oh, I think it seems to be working now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
my
yes.
apologies. I hope everyone, it looks like people are able to respond to the poll now. So sorry about the technical glitch, folks, and keep your responses coming. Thank you so much. Okay, many thanks. I think we will close the poll now. Okay, so as we might expect, lots of interest in learning about our academic program and of course about the junior school in particular. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So it is now my great pleasure to introduce our primary school leadership team that oversees grades 2 to 5 to you. So we have our primary school principal, Pauline Markey, and she is joined by our 2 vice principals in the primary school responsible for grades 2 to 5, and that's Jennifer Juteau and Benjamin Clapp. So over to them for the learning program presentation.
Thank you very much, Malika. I sincerely hope that we're going to be able to cover all of those things that you've requested in the poll. But again, a very warm welcome to our Junior School Open Day. We so wish we could have you here in person so you could meet our truly wonderful students and see the exciting learning environments where they spend their time. However, we're pleased you've joined us and feel really honoured that you're considering Uwcsea as a school for your children. A disclaimer before we start, the photographs and the footage used in our presentation is a mix of current times and pre-COVID to give you a flavour of both. So you'll see that in the photographs. I probably forgot to say I'm Pauline Markey. I'm the primary school principal. So overall responsibility for K1 to grade 5. That's our 4 to 11-year-olds. The primary school is made up of infant grades, which are K1 to grade 1, 4 to 7-year-olds, and then our junior grades, grade 2 to grade 5. And that's where we're going to focus our attention today. The choice of school we make for our children is perhaps one of the most important decisions we'll ever make. And that's no different for us as educators and as parents. I've been an educator for over 30 years. Over 20 of those have been in international schools. And like you, I carried out my research to ensure I'd find a school that matched my values, as well as what I wanted for my own children. I can quite honestly, I have not been disappointed any day I have been here. I know I'm biased, but we have the best job in the world and really passionate about what we do here at Uwcsea. And today we want to share a little bit of what we believe makes us special. Next. So when you were doing your research, I'm very positive that the mission was one of the things that drew you to our school. It certainly is for us. And when looking at the mission, I think quite often some words that stand out for people are probably the unite, the peace, sustainability, and even maybe the word force. And all of them are very prominent and key to our mission. But the most important word for us is the word people. At UWC, we are all about relationships and connections. The children we have are the most engaging, articulate, curious young people who we share our learning with every day. I know I'm biased there again. There isn't a day go by that we do not learn something from our children. Only the other morning I was in a K1 class and I was chatting with two boys who were engaged in some exploration in the water play area. And a little girl came up to show me she was eating a very healthy brain food at the start of the day. So, wow, that's really healthy, darling. And one of the boys quickly, it's not darling, her name's Zana. So very confident, very articulate, and often very right. The adults we have in our school are committed, passionate, and very experienced group of staff whose compassion and care for each other and every one of the students and them in the learning is phenomenal. This isn't just the adults who we expect that of in the classroom, teachers and teaching assistants, but the whole staff, including all of our admin, our facilities team, the caterers, the cleaners, our specialists in PE, music, arts, etc. And every single person plays a vital part in providing the optimum learning conditions for our students where they can thrive. The parents we have, though sadly we don't see them as often at the moment with current circumstances, but they are supportive, engaged, diverse, and eager and willing to help support families and our students. We look forward to you joining this if you choose UWC in whatever capacity is appropriate for you. One of the huge benefits of our school is it being a K-12 school. And that brings so many benefits. And one of those, again, is the relationships that our students develop with our older and our younger ones. But really that our older students are fantastic role models for our younger students. A fine example of this is our K-12 buddy program, where classes are buddied with an older class or a younger class and do activities and engage in being together. Today, we'd like to hear from one of 11 students who has been through our junior school and is a fine example of this relationship. So thank you. Over to you, Vashti.
Thank you, Ms. Pauline. So hello, everyone. I'm Vashti, and I'm very excited to talk to you all today. A little bit about me. I'm a student in grade 11, and I'm currently taking higher level physics, chemistry, mathematics, analysis and approaches, and standard level psychology, Spanish B, and English. I actually joined the school in grade 3, so I've been here for quite a while, and the journey has truly been amazing. I aspire to study physics in university, and I can still recall the first time I fell in love with space. It was actually just before I joined UWC, and I really enjoyed a little project we did in grade 3 that helped me bring together my passion and share it with others. It was a small iBook project in one of the unit of study modules, and I created a small book covering phenomena in the solar system. I remember being so proud of my work and to show it to my parents and friends, and it was printed out and displayed around my class next to the iBooks of my other classmates, much to my delight. You can see a few of the pages from the book on the presentation. I'm also on the competitive gymnastics team here, and I really love it. I started gymnastics in grade 3, which is actually quite late in the game. I'm currently a level 5 gymnast, and although I train really long hours, this sport has really helped me grow as a person. I've overcome so many fears and pushed myself throughout my journey. And an added bonus is that it's taught me to be a ruthless self-manager and allowed me to learn to manage my time with ease. Lastly, one of the integral parts of our school ethos is service. And although it is mandatory, I assure you it never feels that way because it's just so amazing. In October, I'll be the chair of my focus group, Traffic Light. A focus group here at UWC is a service group that usually has an affiliation with an NGO partner and works to raise awareness about a specific issue. For Traffic Light, this issue is human trafficking with a specific focus in Southeast Asia. Our service works with Uwcsea and its founder, Ms. Sylvia Lee, to raise awareness about the issue throughout our student body. For example, last year, we held a documentary screening with about 50 people in the audience, complete with a Q&A with Ms. Sylvia Lee. And I truly can see the connections between one area of school to the other. An example of this is last year in Global Perspectives, I did my critical challenge project with the issue in focus as human trafficking, and my team's action was to help create a board game to help educate people about the nuances of human trafficking. There are also some services here that take a more hands-on approach. For example, in junior school, I remember visiting Evergreen, an old age home close to our school, to play with and interact with the seniors there. At the time, I was also learning Mandarin, and I was able to use my knowledge of the language to further connect with the residents. Here on the presentation, you can see a photo of one of the residents and I doing some arts and crafts activities. This service really inspired me to look at the idea of service in a whole different way. For example, it could just be as simple as making someone smile during a hard day, and it doesn't have to be a groundbreaking invention. For this reason, this year I've joined a college service called Capturing East. The service works to amplify the fascinating but lesser told stories of the people we see at school every day. I've often thought about the fact that the Sodexo staff and support staff here at UWC do so much for us, yet I don't really know anything about them. Capturing East serves to solve this problem by interviewing these people and publishing their stories. It's a very hands-on approach to tackle an issue so close to home, and I think it really brings our community together. So as you can see, at UWC, a truly holistic learning model is encouraged, where connections are everywhere. Each activity, each class, and even each unit could be considered dots, and UWC helps us to achieve a bird's eye view to see the lines connecting them. Undoubtedly, making education a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future. Thank you so much for your time.
Next. Thank you so much, Vashti. And I think as we move on to our next slide, I think you will agree with me to say she is a living, breathing example of our profile and values in action. So thank you very much. So you see on the screen our skills and qualities and the values that underpin everything we do here at school. It really is our aim, and we expect all members of our community, that's adults and children, to be honest and act with integrity, be compassionate and morally responsible, and to help other people. We believe that every child and young person, regardless of their age, has at all times and in all situations the right to feel protected and safe. These skills and qualities you see are as relevant and appropriate for our 4-year-olds as they are for 14 or 18-year-olds. And we look to teaching these values, skills and qualities explicitly, what they mean through assemblies and across the curriculum, as well as modelling them and providing various opportunities for our students to put them into practice in our community. From as early as K1, you'll hear our students talking about being good self-managers as they empty their bags in the morning and put everything where it should be by themselves, and registering themselves as they walk into their classrooms and following the agreements that they had decided upon as a class. It always reminds me of one of my absolute favourite quotes from a K2 child who said, "If you're kind to someone, they will be kind back to you. It's like a kindness circle." And I think there's an example of out of the mouths of babes that we could learn from, all of us. Thank you. Next. So a big point on the poll was finding out more information about the learning programme. Our learning programme is, we feel it is unique, and it's why our students love to come to school each day and why their learning doesn't stop in school. We have a bespoke concept-based curriculum that we've created with the learner at the heart of the programme. And it's been created from K1 to grade 12 to ensure our learners move seamlessly through the school. It has 5 elements that are intentionally displayed as a circle because they have equal importance and value, but obviously they don't have the equal amount of time. But through that programme, we aim to provide our students with a holistic and values-based education that develops them as individuals and as active members of a global society. We want our students to grow into happy, articulate, passionate, and confident young people who will understand their place in the world and understand that they can make a difference and be change makers in that world. And they certainly model these behaviours regularly. And this can be seen in many, many examples with our students. So for example, when children have their birthdays coming up, they will quite often ask their parents to not allow presents from friends if they're having a party, but instead to make a donation to their grade service partners or global partners. And I think that's a real indication of our students at our school. Next. Student voice is a huge and important factor of our school. We believe that every student is capable, curious and competent young person who brings with them a wealth of knowledge on the day they walk into our school as young as our K1 students. We have a number of leadership opportunities that they can get involved in. For example, Student Council, LEAP, which is Leaders of Environmental Awareness and Protection, Student Service Exec, peer mentors, and the students are involved in many, many other aspects of school as well. I meet with students from different grades in what we call Patter with Pauline, and that's an opportunity for them to share their thoughts, suggestions, and to check in on how things really are going for them and what school looks like for them. They input into many aspects of school life. We involve students in our recruitment of staff, the interview panels. They're part of things like our linguistic landscaping to represent the different languages and cultures across our school. They lead in areas like environmental initiatives such as composting and recycling and gardening. And they also will input in areas like playground development and how we care for each other through our service opportunities. We're going to find out a little bit more now about our personal, social and emotional education. And to do that, I'm going to hand over to Jennifer Jitto, one of our VPs. Next.
Thank you, Pauline. Our Personal and Social Education Program, or PSE as it is known, underpins all other elements of the program. It transcends all that we do. It is a very important part of who we are. Through personal and social education, we help students deal with challenges they face in order to support the development of their personal, social, and emotional well-being. As teachers, we care about each and every one of the students, both within the classroom and outside the classroom, in all learning areas and on trips. Learning in our primary school is about developing personal and emotional and social skills, as well as being an intellectual process. This is why PSE is embedded in all elements of our program. At UWC, we expect our community to be honest and act with integrity, to be compassionate and morally responsible, and to help other people. We believe every child and young person, regardless of age, has at all times and in all situations a right to feel safe and protected. Our PSE program not only teaches children important social and emotional relationship skills, it also helps ensure our school is a safe and supportive place. At UWC, we believe that learning is most effective when learners feel safe, secure, and supported. Working together as a community, we must prioritize protecting children and keeping them safe. And one of the ways we do this is by explicitly teaching safe behaviors, such as conducting safeguarding lessons in the junior school. This really can only be successful when there's a strong connection between home and school. Next. An example of our PSE program would be our morning meetings. These are our classroom structure used to nurture the personal and social education throughout the primary school. Morning meeting is a time where students and teachers come together to start their day. It sets a tone of respect, caring, and excitement, which lasts throughout the rest of the day. It creates a nurturing, safe, and secure environment, builds community, as well as a sense of belonging. It is the forum for teaching, discussing, sharing, and resolving personal and social issues. For many of our students, it's the highlight of their day, ensuring they feel safe, cared for, and respected in their classroom community. I will now hand over to Mr. Benjamin Clapp, the other vice principal in the junior school.
Thank you, Jen, much appreciated. Can we go to the next slide, please, Nisha? So before I start to share with you a little bit about academics in our primary school, I think the best person to explain this for you is our Director of Teaching and Learning, Miss Carla Marshall. So here is a video put together by Carla to share with you the principles behind our K-12 concept-based curriculum. I hope you enjoy.
What is concept-based learning? Concept-based learning is centered around big ideas. Ideas so universal that they transfer across place, time, and situation. Content is important, so students must acquire knowledge and skills within each discipline. But the ability to make sense of their knowledge and skills in the world around them is just as important. This doesn't happen by accident. Students are given a variety of experiences so that they develop conceptual understandings, significant ideas that transfer to new contexts. This ensures that they thrive in a complex and unknown future. The Uwcsea concept-based curriculum leads to the IB diploma in grades 11 and 12 and is developed from our mission. Our educational goal is that students embrace challenge and take responsibility for shaping a better world. To do this, they must develop higher order thinking skills and apply their learning to diverse situations. Because our community is so international and diverse, our students bring a wide range of experiences, knowledge, and skills with them when they join us. A concept-based curriculum allows them to connect their prior learning to our experiences at school, as well as develop deep understanding. How do we develop conceptual understanding in our students? Concept-based learning goes hand in hand with learners having a diverse and broad range of experiences. This is achieved through all 5 elements of our holistic learning program: academics, activities, outdoor education, personal and social education, and service. We explicitly plan for concept-based learning by asking conceptual questions and teaching through inquiry, exposing students to content that stretches and deepens their thinking, fostering dialogue and collaboration, asking students to generalize and apply their ideas to new contexts. Together, these experiences support the development of conceptual understanding in our students.
So I hope that helped you to get a little bit of an overview
What
as
is
to
concept-based learning? Concept-based
curriculum.
learning is centered around big.
So what I want to do now is take a moment to unpack a little further with you the academics as that plays out in the primary school. So what happens, when we take our concept-based curriculum and bring it to a primary school context. But first, just a tiny little bit about myself. So my role at UWC is the primary school vice principal with responsibility for grade 4 and 5. But I'm also a father of 2 daughters who attend UWC. And like Pauline, I've been working in schools for a long time and have been at UWC now for 4 years, so thoroughly enjoyed my time here. What I'd say about our academic program at UWC, put simply, is that it's outstanding and that it sets our students up for success, both in their schooling at UWC, but also in their schooling beyond. Our academics, or academics as a topic, speaks for themselves, but the college has really spent significant time developing our own curriculum, K-12, that allows our students to learn about and live the very specific mission we have as a college. It's a robust curriculum and it's balanced, and the concepts that we explore cover all of what we would know as the traditional disciplines, possibly from when we went to school. Throughout the curriculum, students do learn in an inquiry-based approach, and we use a lot of interdisciplinary as well as disciplinary learning at Uwcsea SEA. That means at times you'll see mathematics, English and science understandings presented together, helping students to make connections and transfer ideas. And at other times you'll see ideas separated still in what would be our more traditional disciplines. While the content is really important and we want our students to develop the knowledge and skills they need, the ability to make sense of that and to transfer into the world around them is of equal, if not greater importance to us. We want our students to connect their learning to their prior understandings and their new experiences. And we often ask them to generalize or take these big understandings they've made and take them across to new contexts. No longer than 30 minutes ago, I was working with our grade 5 teaching team, and we were talking about how we could pick up mathematical concepts and take them across to applying it through measurement in the real world as part of that application process. Our academics program at UWC is structured around the disciplines of mathematics, English, humanities, science, PSE, digital literacy, physical education, music, visual arts, and a Languages B program. In the primary classroom context, our students will regularly refer to the term UOS. This is what we refer to as a unit of study, and it's a place where our teachers use a lot of interdisciplinary teaching techniques, bringing rich disciplines together in engaging inquiries. We also mentioned, and in Carla's video, she mentioned the role of a concept-based curriculum in supporting students to transfer their understandings across time, place, and situation. One of the amazing things about our East Campus is that our incredible teachers spend a lot of time structuring the learning to really support the students to make these connections. They deliberately challenge one another to think of new ways to connect the learning for our students, and they listen closely to the voices of the students within their classroom to adjust to contexts and ways of bringing that to life for them. The result sometimes is students who, when they're listening to a story about a book character who's taken positive steps to support an unhappy friend, they find those connections to the attributes of a change maker. They identify the impact that character might have had on another person's life. And then often they'll talk about how they've managed to see that exist within their own community. So it's a really connected process, learning at UWC. It also lives in the experience of students. One example from last year when our grade 3 students were studying a unit of water, and they decided it was worth using a sustainability model to consider the overall societal, natural, economic, and well-being impacts of their potential water footprint. So far richer than just understanding the water cycle, but actually exploring the range of impact that can have, speaks directly to our mission. Next slide, please, Nisha. Outdoor education is another component of our learning program that we think plays a really significant role in the UWC experience. Kurt Hahn, one of UWC's founders, championed the development of the whole person, and he was convinced of the importance of learning outside of the classroom. Our outdoor education program is planned intentionally, just like all of our other elements, as it greatly impacts the overall development and learning of all UWC students. Our formal outdoor education program begins in grade 1 with a school-based sleepover and gradually increases in challenge until grade 11, when incredibly students independently plan and lead small group trips. Next slide, please. Our outdoor education also provides opportunities for really intentional development of personal identity, healthy relationships, connectedness to nature, which are all really necessary for well-being and flourishing for young people. The foundation of our outdoor ed curriculum is intentionally providing students opportunities to develop these expedition outdoor skills that will allow them to have the experiences they need to grow as an individual. as you can imagine, next please, as you can imagine, outdoor education has changed a little in our current climate. And so what we have developed is a very strong Singapore-based outdoor education program that fits to the world in which we're currently living. Our new Singapore-based program is for students from grade 2 to 5 this year, and it combines campus-based, urban and nature experiences across Singapore. Our team of outdoor educators have developed passports for learning that challenge our students to work collaboratively in this environment. We've had our first groups of grade 3 and 4 just completing their outdoor ed experiences for this year, and their feedback has been amazing. In fact, the excitement in my house about being next for my daughter in grade 3 is palpable at the moment. So the commitment from our outdoor ed team, I think, really highlights the ability to pivot, but also our commitment and our strong commitment to this element of our program. Next, please. Vashti spoke really strongly about this, and I feel like there's not much more I can say about our service and sustainability program, but we will talk a little bit just about the passion and commitment that places this at the heart of what it is to be a UWC student and the UWC experience. It's one of the 5 elements of our program, but in many ways it sets us apart from other international schools as we strive to live our mission in everything we do. As a school, we consider service learning alongside sustainability and environmental stewardship as central to our commitment to that holistic learning Jen spoke about earlier. Students from all year levels within the primary school engage in what we call college service or stewardship projects. And these involve looking after and managing garden spaces, supporting recycling efforts on campus, composting, and much more. This focus on contribution to my community allows us to embed service curriculum into our everyday campus life, but it also instills a disposition for our learners in the idea that I can contribute to my community and make a meaningful difference. Next, please. Our students also engage in local service, working with community groups to learn from and contribute to the broader community in Singapore. These experiences range from supporting a local community garden project at Pasir-Ris, coordinating a Fresh Fruit Friday that provides fresh fruit to the needy within Singapore, right through to visiting care homes, as was mentioned earlier, and engaging in really rich and meaningful activities and conversations with residents of these homes. One of the things that sets UWC apart, I think, even further is our approach to service learning. So as part of engaging, our students learn to consider the needs of the residents as they identify them, rather than as we identify those needs as outsiders. Some of the ways our students in the past have identified the needs in some of our care homes has been to plan games mornings, design art and craft activities. They've even had book shares and book clubs with residents that bring great joy to all participants. As a school, we also connect with a range of global service partners, a challenging process in our current climate, but our students learn about these service partners, and when travel does permit, we have trips for small groups that go and help build strong and lasting connections to these groups across the world. As someone who's been here for only 4 years, I think I'm privileged to stand on the shoulders of the people who built these relationships. It's something that binds our community together across 10 years at East Campus, but also 50 years as a college. These connections are strong and they've been sustained over a long period because our learners and our community understand how important they are to our mission. Next, please. And finally, our activities program, which is a point of great excitement for many students every day of their experience at UWC. Our primary school activities program allows our students to learn through a range of experiences that I'll talk through on the next slide if we can. So the categories for our activities program include arts and performance. These are activities that promote visual, auditory, and movement expression. We have create and innovate. These activities encourage students to unleash their curiosity, generate new ideas and alternate ideas. And these may include things like animation, coding, urban gardening. We have a Mind Matters activities that focus on connecting and understanding how we may look after ourselves, as well as our Wellness for Life section that focuses on understanding the relationship between a healthy body and a healthy mind. We have a Learn and Lead section in our activities program that encourage our students to communicate and lead through collaboration. You heard a lot of that in our Student Voice section. We also have representative sports that was mentioned earlier in terms of competitive gymnastics, but we have a strong swimming program, touch rugby, cricket, cross country, and much more. And then we have a home languages program that really promotes the linguistic diversity and inclusion that exists within our UWC community in the primary school. There's also a wide variety of other clubs that extend off this. And if ever you get the opportunity to hear our head of primary activities, Ian Death, talk about what it means to have activities as a central part of our program in the primary school, he'll tell you that it's all about developing passions for things that are going to sustain you throughout your life. So it's not about becoming the best gymnast possible in the activities primary program at UWC. It is about building passion and connection to the things that drive you across your lifetime. I think I'm handing back to Miss Pauline now. So I'll hand back to you, Pauline. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much. And thank you for staying with us and listening. It's a lot of information. We do appreciate that. Next, please. So hopefully, though, you feel like you have got a taste or a flavour of life in our junior school. We feel it is a really, really special place, and we're immensely proud of what we do here. We also are confident that if you choose Uwcsea SEA, your child will flourish and blossom at our school and gain not only a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the school, but also in the wider community and their responsibility to others. In the words of one of our alumni, who is at this very moment up on the space station on his 3rd trip to space, he told our students the sky is not the limit. And that's pretty sound advice aligned to our mission, and even better when it's coming from space. So
we all regret that we cannot invite you to campus yet, but we do have the closest that we can to bring you onto campus. So please enjoy the tour of our junior school on the East Campus. Okay, and that really brings us to the end of our program today. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. And if you did wake up really early or stay up till really late to join us, a special thank you to all of you. We look forward to interacting with you in the very near future. Thank you and goodbye.